This is Marjorie Mandel for Veronica's Countdown in Washington, D.C. I'm here today to interview Joe Jackson, the British rock singer who's currently on tour in America. And, if you ask me, Joe's going to be one of the biggest musical sensations of 1979.
In Central. In.
Joe, maybe you can tell us a little something about Is She Really Going Out With Him? When did you write the song?
About a year or two ago.
So you must have been 22 or 23 when you wrote it. Was it based on anything real?
Well, all my songs are based on something real. I mean, I feel if they weren't based on something real, they wouldn't be convincing. Like, to me, it's just like a situation that a lot of people probably identify with. And I just thought it'd be good to write a song about it. And also the title, Is She Really Going Out With Him, is a line from that old record by the, who was it, the Crystals or the Ronettes or someone, where it starts off, Is she really going out with him? And I just thought it sounded like it should be the title of the song.
How much after this cut did your album come out? Look Sharp.
Well, in England, the single came out in October and the album didn't come out till February. But over here, it's the single's coming out after the album.
I see.
So it's different all over.
How is your music described? I've seen it called New Wave.
Yeah.
I've seen it called punk. I've heard that they're playing the cut Sunday papers in discos in Holland.
Oh, amazed.
How is it that you think your music is supposed to be heard?
I don't think of it like that. I don't see it as part of a particular thing. I just think of it as songs. I see myself as a songwriter. What I'm trying to do is write good songs, rather than be part of a new movement or a trend or something like that. So I don't see it that way.
It's selling very well in England, and I'm sure it must be selling well in America because you're here now.
Yeah.
Maybe you could explain a little bit about the tour you're doing here and how it came about.
Well, one good thing about the deal we've got is that we're with A&M, who are an American company, so obviously they want to get us out here. When they released the album, it got really good reaction. Like, it was getting played all over the country, radio stations everywhere playing it. So originally we were going to do just about 10 dates, and then it was going so well and selling so well that it was extended to about 20 or 30, and it's going really well.
Do you find that the American audience has a different reaction than that in Europe?
Yeah, it's different, yeah. I'm not going to say it's worse or better or anything, it's just different. It's, I found it very strange playing to audiences that are sitting down. I mean, in England, no one sits down at a rock club, you know. It's just different. Like in England, the audiences are more intense, you know, and over here they sort of sit down. But they're still enthusiastic in a different sort of way. You know, it's a bit strange, but I like it. I mean, I don't dislike it.
Well,
I don't know about audiences in Europe. We haven't really been anywhere else yet.
What is your idea of an ideal situation to be playing in?
I think a place that's big enough to hold a lot of people, but not so big that you lose the atmosphere. People should be able to stand up and move around and leap about, and dance, do what they want, you know.
So long as it's not disco dancing.
No, I don't mind. They can dance how they want, you know.
And when you get back from America, will you be touring in Europe?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a couple of weeks touring Europe.
I've been told by your manager that you'll be spending 3 days in Holland when you come back.
Yeah.
And 1 day in almost any other country in Europe. Why is it that you've decided to stay over longer in Holland?
Well, I'm told that the single and the album are doing very well in Holland, and that's why, because obviously you can't go everywhere, you can't spend a lot of time everywhere, so you try and spend most time in the places that have shown most interest in what you're doing. And it seems at the moment that of all the European countries, Holland is probably the most interested.
Can you imagine why it is that the Dutch audience would be particularly sympathetic?
I've absolutely no idea. I mean, maybe I'll get some idea when I get out there.
Have you been there before?
No, I've never been.
I was told also by your manager, John, that you'll be cutting a new album soon.
July, yeah.
Is that going to be similar in style to Look Sharp?
It's going to be pretty similar. It won't be drastically different, but it'll just be better. That's what I think. I mean, if I didn't feel it was going to be better, then there'd be no point in doing another album. So I just want it to be more varied and have a bit more sort of depth to it.
In terms of the music or the lyrics?
And the lyrics, probably, mainly. I'm not going to keep on writing songs about, you know, is she really going out with him and pretty girls walking down the street, you know. It's just going to be a bit different. But it'll be the same band and the same sort of sound.
Do you write all of your own songs? Do you ever perform?
Yeah.
No others?
We do a couple of old rock and roll songs. We only do them like as an encore. We do an all original set, and then if people really like us and want us to come back, then we might do a couple of old songs. It's just like saying thank you, you know.
Yeah.
And it's good fun.
Do you plan to keep the band as small as it is now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've noticed that listening to your music that the production is much simpler. There's no orchestration. Do you want to keep it that way? Is there any reason for that?
Absolutely. There's a couple of reasons for it. One reason is that I don't like overproduced music. When I listen to a record, I like to feel as though I'm listening to a band playing and not just something that's been manufactured in a studio, right? And the other reason is just that I simply get bored with recording. I find it boring. What I really like doing is performing on stage. And to me, that's the important thing. I like recording. I can't stand the idea of just being locked in a studio with no audience or anything and going over the same song again and again. I mean, if you haven't got it right in 2 or 3 times, there's no point, you know. That's how I feel about it. I don't know why. I can't understand how musicians can like working in the studio and not want to go on the road, for instance. It doesn't make sense to me. So it's just the way I like to do it.
So when you recorded the album, you would only record each song once or twice and they were ready?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Some of them were done first time.
Really?
A couple of them.
You mentioned to me before that you never get sick of your songs because when you perform them...
When I perform them, I wouldn't listen to them. I'd never go and put my album on and listen to it. I just couldn't do that. But when I'm actually performing to an audience, it's totally different because there's some purpose to doing it. Because there's people out there who probably haven't seen you before, and every audience is different, and every place you play is different, so there's a different atmosphere.
You feel you pick up from the audience when you play?
Oh yeah, very much, yeah. It's the audience are the most important thing there, you know.
If you see yourself in 5 years, do you have any particular goals about where you'd like to be musically?
Well, I don't think too much about the future or the past. I sort of very much for the present, you know. I'm only thinking, at the moment, I'm thinking about the next album, and I'm thinking about a year or 2 ahead. But certain things I want to keep a sort of standard, you know. I don't want to go downhill. That's all. I just want to get better and better,
Right.
and just always do something that's genuine, you know. And I don't want to sort of lose touch with real life, you know.
Does the up-and-coming album have a title? Yeah.
Not at the moment, no. No, I won't say. It might have, but I'm not saying.
I'd like to be able to see him where he's sitting, you know, on the bed. We didn't do that. Let me do it. I'm going to get back for a big white shot. Well, you facing him. So
Yeah.
it can be cut. And now, do you want to pick up some more questions? I was taking a cue from you, Bert. No, anything.
Oh, hello. Boy, you give nice answers to questions. And
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I'm a real pro, you know, and
I'm just doing another little demo rest.
I'm desperately trying to cover up this sock which has got
Room 10.